Elections are not about promises. They are about visions, competence, character, and the capacity to deliver results. Our goal today is simple: to give you voters the opportunity to hear directly from your candidates. We'll be discussing their background, their agenda, their challenges facing their consistency, and the practical solutions they intend to pursue if they are elected as the member representing their constituency. This will be an open, respectful, and issue-driven conversation focused on governance, development, accountability, and the future of our people. I am your host this evening. My name is Afolabi Olaiya, and it's my pleasure to welcome our distinguished guest, Honorable Oriola Kazeem Olajide, an aspiring member of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, representing the Afolabi constituency 1 Igede in House of Assembly under the Labour Party. Thank you for joining us this evening, Honorable Oriola. And let's begin with a very simple question here.
My pleasure.
The question is, who is Honorable Oriola, and why are you actually seeking this office at this particular point in time?
My name is Oriola Kazeem Olajide from Wode Ekiti. I was born to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Solomon Oriola from Okechoro Quarters in My purpose of aspiring, well, before I go forward, I started my elementary and primary education at AUD Primary School at and I proceeded to secondary school at the Remote Comparative High School in Ekiti. Later attended Omega Academic School at Ado Ekiti. I proceeded to my higher institution at University of Ado Ekiti, now Ekiti State University. I studied banking and finance. Why I'm aspiring is the Afolabi Olaiya Constituency 1 is blessed with rich and respected institutions, with vibrant youth and hard-working people. But for over the year, we have been represented and marginalized by some political giants. They don't allow the will of the people to take a center stage in politics anymore. They decide from above. So that's one reason that prompts me to say I want to contest for this particular position. I want to speak for the youth. I want to speak for the elders. I want to speak for the workers, for the artisans, for our community leaders. Because for years, there is an arrangement between Igede and Iyi. And the arrangement is when Igede did an assembly a term, it will return to Iyi. But for one reason or the other, the political gladiators have been deciding to retain it in one community, whereas depriving others of their political aspirations.
Are you, sorry, Mr. Honorable Oriola, are you trying to tell us that the youths of Afolabi Olaiya have actually been marginalized? You know, these days we are in the era of gate crashers and gatekeepers. The major gamers in politics these days are the elderly. If you look at it, you see they are above 67, 70. Even some are even using some cannot even walk quite well, and they are the one representing us. And what we have seen in the game plan of Nigeria is that majority of the youths have been sidelined. They have been kicked back. They have been a particular. Are you trying to tell us that the youths of Iyi and Igede have not been allowed to actually represent the people?
Yes, I will digress a little, because in Nigerian political system, I have understood something, that our leaders, our present leader, they started as a very young and teenage age. Like somebody like the governorship, Governor Niyi Adebayo, Otunba Niyi Adebayo, and someone like Fayose, they know the importance of the youth in our political system. That is why you can see in Constitution 2 that somebody became to a party under 3 months, and he was given an House of Assembly ticket because the father has been into the system. They understand why youth involvement is important in politics. They are pushing their own forward. But when it comes to the people that don't have voice, that don't have godfather, they have to deprive them. They will tell the people the story that will favor them, rather than to allow the youth to grow. But to me, the history of Afolabi Olaiya is clear. Everybody is aware that when you get a deed, it will come to you.
What I want to, I want you to clear some things because practically, we know the history of him, how it came up through some about 5 students in from I think Christ School Adekiti with their teachers, and from there I think he has had very young vibrant people who has represented in so many ways, and now what do you think the youth need to do differently now that someone like you is coming up to say, okay, I want the people now to see that the youths are actually ready for this
I will only encourage a youth to look back into the history of the youth and the role the youth has been playing in Ekiti development. Today, if you look at it today, it has one of the best layouts in, if I'm not saying West Africa, I would say in all Nigeria. And this thing was not achieved by the elders. It was an idea of young people, secondary school people, like people like Abiodun Ogundele, somebody like Shifolofu, somebody like Aderiye, somebody like Obafemi Aderiye, somebody like about 5 of them and 2 of their teachers, and one Benson, a developer in Southwest. If you look at it very well, it has a very good layout. That's the importance of the youth. So I just want to encourage the youth, the youth of the, I want to awake the record development. I want to awake their political consciousness to be able to see things differently. Coming together of the youth, it will bring a lot of change. Me, I'm the voice of the youth. I'm coming out to represent the interest of the youth of me, not my personal interest.
Okay, now we know that sometimes in a particular setting, what you have done in the past actually represent what you are going to be in the future. It will tell on your present and your future. You understand? Now, if you are talking about the likes of those 5 people who actually worked on the terrain and the education generally. Now, some of them actually went ahead and became political giants themselves. I think one was a House of Representatives member before he died. And now the thing is this: what have you done in the past, or what have you done for the people of who necessarily your own particular town that will give them the reason to say, okay, yes, this is the better candidate for us?
Ever since I've joined politics, ever since I've been a player in politics, I started doing the Mini Adebayo regime. I was in Ward 9 in Lado. I worked directly as a campaign supporter of Mini Adebayo. We are the voice of Mini Adebayo then. You might not be aware. We worked directly with the former Attorney General, which is the late Fadri. We worked directly with him. So the interest of him has been my paramount interest. I've worked with somebody like a CPC candidate, Honorable Akinloa. I've worked with Honorable Fayemi Bamidele. Up to this special moment, he's still a mentor. He's still a figure to reckon with. Because when he declared for BBA coalition, I was one of the people on that ground that day that mobilized the youth of the for the progress of it. So I've always speak for the progress of the town and of the constituency. My interest is just purely to speak to let the people know this is what we should do. I'm just here to make sure I reawake that spirit, the spirit of unity in me. We are known to be a united town, even in the whole of Ekiti. When we speak true to the power. So I want the youth to also invite in that the same spirit that today I'm here. It might be the position of another person tomorrow. So my hope, my aspiration is just to make sure I bring the youth of it together so that we can be able to speak the truth to the power. Because presently he are supposed to be the one representing Record Development Constituency 1 in the House of Assembly. Okay, now don't just mean it's supposed to be in Ward A, because ever since the thing has been coming to me, he has been Ward B. Ward B has done it twice. Honorable Fakir is from Ward B, and somebody like the late Saribi, when Adebayo was governor, he fought blood and sweat to make sure the governorship aspiration of second-time aspiration of Adebayo does not affect Ward B's aspiration. So when people are saying because Senator is from Ward A, Senator is not from my family. Senator has done well for in and Nigeria as well. So me, I'm coming out to even speak on behalf of my people, on behalf of my world, that we have been marginalized. The second time that the House of Assembly candidate is coming to him, it was Honorable Benson from Ward B. Chief Honorable Benson from Ward B. So now, what is our game? When we are in politics, we cannot decide for ourselves as a youth. Somebody that will decide for us. No. Now, the youth are saying no. We want to decide the future of ourselves. Because tomorrow it might be another person. It might not be me. And I'm here. It's not. They say politics is not a do or die. It's not a do or die. But I'm appealing to the youth. A lot of them, they understand the terrain, the political terrain. So I am banking on them because they know the truth. And I know the truth will surely prevail.
Okay, you know what? I have heard you because listening to you, I know our listeners are actually interested in this particular argument. But one thing that stand out since you have been talking, you trying to tell us that young people have helped people from me to actually make history.
Yeah.
That's the people like MOB himself, Niyi Adebayo, and Honorable maybe Chief Saribi, and all the people you have actually mentioned. They have youths have actually helped them, to make history. And now, have you contacted any of these people to actually seek their opinion about your body language, about your interest in this aspiration?
I will not lie for you. As a town, it is known as one party town. But my personality has been speaking for me within the town. I've met with a lot of people, and many of these people, they know the truth. You understand? They even confirm the truth for me. But what many of them are saying is they don't allow the grassroots to decide again. That they decide from above, which is not democracy.
No, democracy is a game. Is a game of the people by the people. So yes. It's a decision of the people. People cannot just say, okay, I cannot. Like I asked you a question, you have not actually answered, and I will buttress it with this. I asked you, what have you done differently? That makes you stand. That makes you stand stronger than other candidates.
What I've done differently is that I always believe integrity speaks louder than anything. You understand? My integrity, I've always protect my integrity politically. I don't compromise. I don't sell my vote. I don't sell my conscience. When I said I'm doing this, that's what I'm doing.
But politicians do not like that kind of a resolute mindset. People they want someone who they can actually say, okay, do this, and they want somebody they can actually run around, they can send around. They want errand boys. That is what you politicians do. You like people who you can send around and say, okay, go and do this, and they will do that. Because you are a young man, they do not want someone who can actually tell them, no, I'm not doing this, and they will stand by their ground. They will stand their ground.
Well, I agree with you. But for a long time, maybe that's what has been defining me of my opportunity, my place in politics, because I always play blunt politics. I'm always straightforward. So I don't compromise. That is my principle. Whatever I want to do, I do it with my conscience. So I believe one day Nigeria will learn, maybe from me or from other aspiring and integrity people out there that are.
Okay, now let me ask you this: what are your major priorities if elected as a member of?
One of my major priorities is youth inclusion. Okay. Youth inclusion, strengthening institutional structures, building a structure within the youth, giving the youth voice, creating employment, creating an enabling environment for the youth to grow.
What are your major priorities if you are actually elected as a member of the State House of Assembly representing Afolabi Olaiya constituency 1?
Well, one of my major priorities, number one, is youth inclusion. Youth must not be silent. Their voice must be heard and clear. And creating an enabling environment for them to grow, job creation and education and security, they are my priority. Those are the things that will be my number one thing if I'm elected as the member of House of Assembly.
Okay. Now
I want the government to serve the people. of my constituency.
You are going on the platform of an opposition.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And your voice is definitely going to be a minority voice when you get to the house, which is easily silenced in Nigeria, settings. And we have seen a lot of people who have used political parties to get to power, and then they end up joining the ruling party at that time. Whenever we have seen it with the House of Assembly members from from other from I think from Ekiti East, and also from those are the SDP members who decamped from SDP to APC recently. Now, are you trying to tell Labour Party and Inni people that you are going to stand by their mandate, and you are going to, regardless of the pressure that's coming from the ruling party, you are going to stand your ground? As you have said, you have the integrity, and you are not ready to, back down on your integrity.
I will not say yes, and I will not say no, because compromising is part of politics. Okay. In as much it is for the interest of my people, because I'm going there because of my people, so I'm representing their interest. Because even if I'm going to come back to the APC, I need to consult with my people. If it is for the interest of my people, I don't see that as a crime. And if it's for the interest of my political aspiration, I don't think there is a crime in that. It's also a political platform.
Okay, now this is a very vital question. I want you to take your time and reason with me. You are for me, and the leader of the Senate presently now is from me. And let's say at the end of the day, which we pray, you are now elected as the House of Assembly member representing Igidi and maybe MOB ended up winning the Senate for the fourth time. Third time, sorry. Now, if put yourself in the shoes of Igidi people, what would be the question? What do you want them to say, actually? What do you want them to think?
Well, these are one of the reasons I'm contesting. Okay. When democracy is not playing on a playground, it's not playing on fair land, a lot of people in position of power, you will not even recognize that people are in position of power. Like Electoral Development is the local government. And presently, as we have it, local governments have their autonomy. But the autonomy is not effective in my local government. One, I think the chairman of the local government is from Igidi, which I believe he will still remain at Igidi. Okay. For the next 3 years. One, Igidi people have the chairman, and the chairman, I'm expecting the chairman to represent the local government as the governor of the local government, as the chief secretary of the local government. But today, because there is no opposition, there is they are ruling on the goodwill of the people. The people are not conscious about what is happening in the environment. And presently, the present House of Assembly member of the Electoral Development, I'm sorry to mention, I will not mention him. You can't even say somebody is representing us because there is no voice, there is no challenge. That's why I'm coming out to challenge the status quo. That I want to represent my people. I want my people to enjoy the dividend of the local at the level of the local government. Okay. Presently, the people are representing the local government, and the local government alone, as the chairman of the local government, you have all the power within your constituency to make people enjoy the dividend of the local. It's not about the people, somebody that is representing five local governments. The Senate presently is representing 5 local governments, while the chairman of Electoral Development is representing about 13 towns and villages without nothing to show for it because they don't have opposition. So that's one reason I'm contesting. It's not Igedi, they are not competitors. We are partners in progress. So if I'm representing Electoral Development, whatever I do in Igedi, I will do it in Igedi. Okay. That is my principle.
Okay. Thank you very much. You know what? I want to ask you a question because we have seen this system, this particular political system that we find ourselves to reject the idea, the right idea of members of oppositions. Let me put it that way. Also, what if this particular system that we find ourselves rejects your ideas and asks you to compromise? Will you stay and fight? As you said, you have that integrity. Will you stay and fight for your value or conform to it?
Well, I'll be saying this. Life is about learning, relearning, and unlearning. But there is one thing. There is one thing. My integrity. You know, sometimes there is integrity in losing. That's what I always tell people.
Thank you very much for your time, Honorable Oriola.
My player.
You have said a lot, and I believe you have been able to let the youth understand your stand and your agitation for their voices to be heard. And we know the youth are the mainstay; they are the major umpire of any election. You understand? So, and you being a youth yourself, I know you must have been prepared and well equipped to carry the youth along. I want to know what is your relationship personally with majority of the youth in Irepo Federal Local Government, most especially within your constituency 1 and constituency 2. What is your relationship with them?
Today, I can boldly tell you that I'm representing the voice of my constituency, because I know their plight and I understand them, because all of my life has been with them. So almost my name is on the list of almost all the youth of them today.
Okay. Thank you very much. And one thing is this, you know, the Senate leader, Michael Operenyon Bamdele, Senator, he has been there. This is the third time he's going now. He's actually aspiring to, go back again for the third time. And like you said, there has been a power stay or power shift, let me put it that way, between Ini and Igede. When since Operenyon Bamdele has been in the Senate, does that mean the House of Assembly has remained in Igede for the past 2 terms?
Yes, the House of Assembly has remained in Igede for the past 2 terms.
And what is the voice, or what is the word on the street? Since you said you represent the street now, what is the word on the street of when it comes to the voice of the youths now? Are they agitating for power to return back to you, and they want to feel the power, or they just feel like, okay, since our man is already in the Senate, let him continue. Let Igede continue with
you know why? Because the Senate is representing a lot of towns, and especially it's representing 5 local governments.
Yeah, definitely.
And the issue of House of Assembly is only between Ini and Igede. We have 2 things in common: the House of Assembly and the local government chairman.
I think Ini has an LCDA.
LCDA is not recognized by law.
No,
it's only an arrangement. It's only a party arrangement.
Okay.
What is recognized by Nigerian Constitution today is we are having a record of Elodo Constituency 1.
But Lagos State has been practicing LCDA for a very long time, since the days of
if Lagos State is practicing SCDA, the SCDA is still not yet recognized as local government. If our SCDA is recognized as local government, today we will not be sharing House of Assembly with Igede anymore. So what we are still having in the Nigerian Constitution is the record of Elodo, and we have one thing in common with Igede, which is the local government chairman and the House of Assembly. And presently, Igede is representing the interest, the local government, the chairman of the local government, which I see as an opportunity for them to build and to bring political dividend to their people. Because today, local government is having its own autonomy. So, and that autonomy should give every chairman an opportunity to perform to the expectation of their people. But what we are having in the record is a different scenario. So even the SCDA, they are not doing anything. They have nothing to show for it. So me, as a voice, I'm coming to reawake the youth, to let them know that there are people who can do better than what we are having. Even the present representative of the record development or constituency 1, there's no anything. There's nothing to show for it. But me, I'm coming out to represent the interest of the youth, the interest of the whole community, even in Yanegede. Not only in, I'm representing both communities, and I believe me as a person, whatever I do to one constituency, I must do to other, irrespective of their political affiliation.
Okay, thank you very much. We have seen there's a particular town. I had a conversation with the king, and he lamented that majority of those that are actually elected within that town, once they are elected as House of Assembly member, that is the end. Even if they are elected as ordinary councillor in that town, that is the end. They won't see them anymore. They are already in Ado. They are already staying in maybe in Ado, or they go back to Lagos without disseminating or doing anything with their office. What type of leader do you aspire to actually be? What type of representative? Is it the type that will be voted for in Igede, and you come back and your mainstay will be in Ado Ekiti, and forget about your people?
Well, presently I don't have anything, but I think I have a small business at home, which I'm praying that God will enlarge it more. All of my life has been within the town.
Yeah, all of their lives have been within the town. They have been
if today opportunity to be voted for to represent the constituency, I think the voice of the people will be my concern.
Everybody has a priority. We all have a reason why we are doing something. Because naturally, I cannot go into politics without a goal. I have a set goal, quote unquote. You understand? Your set goal, is it personal? Just what people aspire power just for their own personal self. They want to be named honorable. Hey, he was once House of Assembly member. What has he done? What has been his impact on the youth, on the community, on his constituency, and on the state in general? So, when you're going to the House of Assembly now, you are expected to, bring up bills that can actually change the lives of the. We have seen people who brought up bills that are against people. People brought up bills to increase the price of school fees. People brought up bills to increase hostel fees, and we know them. It's outside there. We have seen what they have done. We've seen their best. So what are your priorities? When you are eventually elected as House of Assembly member.
My number one priority is the security of life and property.
Is that your duty? You are not the CSO.
Yes, I will promote bills that will secure the life and property of the people. And health-wise, I will promote bills that will give our health workers the benefit of what they are doing, and I will give them I will promote bills that will improve the present health sector in Ekiti State. The health sector in Ekiti State is beyond comparable. I must be honest with you, because I've lived in Lagos. I know how they operate in Lagos. I've visited so many hospitals in Lagos. I know the importance. I know the security in Lagos. One of the things Lagos State is doing. If you're a traffic offender in Lagos State they will not pursue you. They won't pursue you.
Yeah.
There are policies. There are cameras they put in places. There is an incident that happened in the state during this administration. Somebody stole a child at one hospital in Adore. If not because of the security camera of the pharmacy that he went to buy drugs, probably there is about 100% probability that person will go away without any trace, because he forgot his bag at the scene of the crime. And when they saw the bag, when they checked the bag, they saw a receipt of a pharmacy. They went to the pharmacy. It was the pharmacy that went to trace the time he bought the drug. So that from the information on the receipt, that's what give them the opportunity to be able to trace the person. But I will not start with Ekiti State. I will lead by example. I will first digitalize my town. If I am elected
your consistency,
my constituency, I will digitalize my constituency, because I will let them know this is how things should be done. You understand? So that is, I don't have any more things to say, and I will make sure I equip our hospitals. We have only one hospital in the Republic of Ibadan, which is Adebayo General Hospital in England. So I will make sure I equip it with drugs for people to enjoy the benefit of democracy, because I know a lot of people through that they will enjoy. That is the only thing I can promise for now.
Okay, thank you very much. Election is not assured, because nobody is promised tomorrow. You understand? And eventually, which we pray. I believe that you will take whatever act, whatever comes out of the elections, and we pray that at the end of the day, you come out as the best or the elected candidate?
Well, the thing I would say is many things that is defining Nigerian youth of their involvement in politics is the money back. If this election is not involved, vote by my brother. I'm a candidate to be.
You and I know that is not
if this election does not involve
I don't that's not promise.
On a playground. I'm a candidate to be.
Our president said everything is fair in politics. Do you know what that means?
Vote buying is not fair. It's a crime.
All you say love and war. All you say love and war.
No, my brother, I disagree with you.
Okay.
It's a crime. Even the president of EFCC in Ekiti during the election, I thought it to influence or challenge some discrepancies of vote buying, because a lot of our youth display on the internet how much they were paid. And who paid them? A particular party. That is where we have ICPC and EFCC. That is one of their job. Maybe they're supposed to question these people, invite them, question them.
Maybe they never knew them. Maybe they never saw them.
People display themselves on
let's take it as fluke.
My brother, I will not agree with you. Okay, that is why you are finding it difficult to get it right in Nigeria.
We hope that
we know the right thing, but we will not do it.
We hope the youth can actually come together and decide that okay, we want a free, fair, and credible election ahead of 2027.
The only thing that can decide me duty in this coming 2027 election House of Assembly is
we have always been
I'm a candidate to this.
We have always been against vote buying, Diboko or whatever. So we hope that this will quote unquote put to a halt in 2027 election. So any last word for your audience?
Honestly, what I'm trying to do now is to set aside the youth of the Republic to stop selling their conscience. Our conscience go in lot. That's why what we are experiencing in Ekiti State today, after the election, I saw some people protesting that there is too much of taxation, there is this. The money you collected on election day, you will work for it, you will pay for it. That is the consequence of selling your conscience. Because people that gave you money, they are doing business, they are doing transactions. They will find a way to get the money back. But my advice for the youth is that don't sell your future, don't sell your conscience. The money they pay you on election day will not solve the problem you have in 4 years or in a month. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that has been an engaging and a very insightful conversation with our guest today, Honorable Oriola Kazeem Olajide. Thank you for coming and we have discussed the issues, the visions, the promises, and most importantly, the responsibility that comes with seeking the public office. To our guest, we say thank you very much for coming. Thank you for I'm taking your time to answer.
I'm looking forward to be here again.
We'll be looking forward to have you as many times as possible. Democracy is strengthened when leaders are willing to engage openly and be accountable for the citizens they seek to serve.